Your dog is not misbehaving. Your dog is communicating, and you've been misreading every single message. Everything you've been told about dog behavior? Most of it is myth, dominance, pack rules, alpha games. None of it is real science. Today I'm going to show you what peer-reviewed behavioral research actually says, and it will change how you see your dog forever. Jumping is not a power play. It is not your dog trying to control you. According to behavioral science, jumping is a social facilitation behavior. Your dog is literally trying to reach your face. What? Because in canine communication, face-to-face contact means greeting. It means connection. It means, I am happy you are here. In the wild, puppies jump to lick the mouths of returning adult dogs. It triggers food sharing. It is a bonding signal. Your dog is doing the exact same thing with you, scaled up and without the food. They are not being bad. They are being a dog. Scientific term. Social facilitation. A behavior that increases in the presence of a social trigger. Your arrival is the trigger. Excitement is the response. Jumping is the output. So what should you actually do? You don't punish a greeting. You redirect it. When all four paws are on the floor, that's when your dog gets the face contact they were seeking. You are not stopping the behavior, you are teaching the dog which version of it works. That is behavioral science in action. Section 2, Time Frames and Neuroplasticity. Hook number 3, The Uncomfortable Truth. Anyone who promises your dog will be transformed in 7 days is selling you something. Here's what the science actually says. Behavior change is not a product. It is a biological process. And that process runs on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated experience. But here is the critical detail that most content creators skip. Neuroplasticity is not the same for every dog. Factor 1. Factor 2. Breed. Factor 3. Genetics. Factor 4. Repetition. A border collie puppy and a 7-year-old basset hound do not share the same neurological timeline. A dog bred for herding has a nervous system wired for rapid response and pattern recognition. A scent hound was bred for slow, methodical focus. The same training protocol applied to both will produce completely different results. Not because one dog is smarter, but because their brains were literally built differently. This is why time frame guarantees are not science. They are marketing. Real behavior modification is measured in consistent repetitions across weeks, sometimes months, calibrated to your specific dog's age, breed, and anxiety history. Progress is real. Timelines are not one size fits all. What you should track instead of days, the number of clean repetitions. 10 successful calm greetings is a milestone. Day 7 is a calendar date with no biological meaning. Your dog knows how you feel before you walk through the door. Not because they're psychic, because of chemistry. This is the one that surprises people the most. When you are stressed, your body releases cortisol. When you are excited, alpha amylase surges in your saliva and skin. These are detectable chemical signals, and your dog's nose, which contains up to 300 million scent receptors compared to your 6 million, reads them like a news feed. Research on human canine chemical communication has shown that dogs respond measurably to changes in owner cortisol levels. They don't just sense your mood. They begin to mirror it, physiologically. Their own stress hormones shift in response to yours. This is not a metaphor. This is documented biochemistry. What does this mean practically? Your nervous system is contagious. If you come home frantic, rushed, and loud, you are not just excited. You are dosing your dog with stress chemistry before you've even made eye contact. The dog's arousal spikes, cortisol climbs, and the next 20 to 60 minutes of behavior is already shaped. By you, not by them. The most powerful training tool in your home is not a leash, a treat, or a clicker. It is your own regulated nervous system. Calm arrivals are not a preference. They are a biological intervention. When you slow down, lower your voice, and reduce movement, you are actively changing the chemical environment your dog is reading. That is energy matching, explained by science. Resource guarding is not aggression. It is survival. And punishing your dog for it is the most counterproductive thing you can do. Here is where the old school training world gets it dangerously wrong. A dog who growls over food, a toy, or even a spot on the couch is labeled aggressive, dominant, dangerous. The prescribed solution? Punishment, correction, force. But resource guarding is an evolutionary survival instinct. In the ancestral environment, an animal that did not protect its food did not survive. Guarding behavior is baked into the canine genome, not as a character flaw, but as a biological success strategy that kept the species alive for thousands of years. The growl, the stiffening, the hard stare, these are not the beginning of aggression. They are communication. Your dog is using the only language available to them to say, "This matters to me and I am uncomfortable right now." The growl is a gift. It is a warning that gives you time to respond before the situation escalates. When you punish the growl, you do not remove the guarding instinct. You remove the warning signal. Now you have a dog who still guards, but silently until the bite. This is exactly why behavior researchers consistently advise against suppression-based responses to guarding behavior. The evidence-based approach guarding situations with a trade-up protocol. Offer something of higher value in exchange. Build positive associations with your presence near high-value items. This reframes you as a source of good things, not a threat to resources. Resource guarding is real. It is common. And it is manageable, but only when you understand what it actually is, not what pop culture training has told you it is. Closing, the science summary. You don't have a bad dog. You have a dog whose science nobody bothered to explain to you, until now. Let's recap what peer-reviewed behavioral science actually tells us. Fact jumping. Social facilitation, seeking facial contact. Not dominance. Fact time frames. Variable. Depends on age, breed, genetics, repetition. Fact energy. Dogs mirror cortisol and alpha amylase through scent and sound. Fact guarding. Evolutionary survival instinct. Not bad behavior. Your dog has been trying to communicate with you this entire time. Every jump, every growl, every shadow that follows you from room to room, it is all information. And now you have the science to read it correctly. If this changed how you see your dog, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want the full breakdown of canine stress physiology, the cortisol curve, the arousal threshold, and what happens inside your dog's nervous system during a training session, that is exactly what we are covering next. End of script. 2000 words.